Good Saturday evening, folks. Nick here with the updated videocast for you all on this Saturday, January 14th of 2017. We are almost done with the freezing cold side of this storm system. Even though it'll be around for the next few days, once we get past this last batch of rain and freezing rain going through the overnight and into tomorrow morning, that is when we're going to finally start to improve our weather setup quite a bit. That is if you are not a fan of this freezing rain. Here we are in the darker purples for most of us in the four-shade area. Ice storm warnings continue throughout a good portion of Sunday morning. I don't think they'll last longer than noon on Sunday, but as long as these ice storm warnings are still around, we got to keep an eye on the moisture coming in from the southwest, because as it overrides our air mass, we have areas of rain and then areas of freezing rain to contend with as we go through the overnight. Here's the current view of the Skywatch Storm Tracker at about 10:30 our time. You can see from about, I'll draw a quick line for you, from Sedan, Independence, up to about Parsons, running right along 400, north of Joplin, and then north of Greenfield. All of this, safe to say, is freezing rain. Now, granted, we do see some regular rain returns showing up. There is some pockets of warmer air trying to force its way back in from the south, so at the very least, we do see signs of that warmer air trying to work in, and I think it'll start to get a better foothold as we go into tomorrow morning. However, we've had the freezing rain do at least some mischief around here, especially in Jasper County. Back at 9:27 this evening, we've had, I'll pop the webcam up for you, out of Jasper County, we had a power line down near Pembroke and County Road 165, just outside of Alba on the northeast side, so I wouldn't be surprised if that power line came down because of maybe some trees weighing down on the power line, or tree branches weighing down on the power line, which has already been coated with ice, and that was just enough for it to come down. So hopefully any power outages with this system will be just limited to a few scattered power outages. So far, we've been cooperating, and we've had also a tree knocked down because of all this near County Road 270 and Maple, just outside of Waco, and hopefully it was cleaned up by now. The estimated time to clean that up would be about an hour from the time this was reported at about 9:27. So this is still causing quite a bit of mischief as long as temperatures remain right around freezing for most of us. But you can see again, once we get to about Bentonville, Neosho, Anderson, just south of Milnette, and just south of Grand Lake, that's areas where if anything's trying to work back in, that is warm enough for rain. And that's some of that warmer air that'll be starting to work in from the south as we go through the overnight. So you can see this red line that I drew in general at about 10:30 on this Saturday night. That's about pretty much where the freezing line is, or where the rain from the south, as it works over that freezing line, starts to switch over to freezing rain. But thankfully, this line will continue to eventually lift north of the area as we go into tomorrow. So, if you do have to be out on the roads tonight, like you're seeing for 7th and Rangeline, the roads may look okay with the traffic coming and going, but I would treat the roads very carefully and treat them as if there were some slick spots, because that's the reports that we've been getting near Jasper County not too long ago. 32 in Joplin. Thankfully, the dew point is 32, so we can't drop below that number. So we're going to hold here, or bump up to 33 by midnight, and then going through the rest of the night, that is when at least Joplin will finally start to warm back into the mid-30s, hopefully by sunrise. You can see for yourself, if you're not seeing any of the freezing rain or the rain, you are socked in under plenty of cloud cover. The overall surface setup, though, does bode well for us. Even though this surface front, this stationary front just south of us, stays south of us, we are thankfully going to see some more warmer air override the front and work our way as we go into tomorrow. So we're almost done with the ice, and once that warmer air kicks in, we'll switch over to rain and we'll get to work melting off some of the ice. Especially when this upper level low, sitting just south of the Arizona-Mexico border, really kicks south of the southwest toward the northeast. Once that happens, that's going to really encourage our air mass to really warm up, and even have the system end with some thunderstorms before we finally get this completely out of here once we get past Martin Luther King Day. So let me hide the webcam for you as we look at the wide view of the future track. This shaded area you see between these two white lines, that is where temperatures will be at or very close to 32 degrees. So if you're north of that region or in that little shaded area, that is where we are definitely going to see Areas of freezing rain continue throughout the night. South of that, safe to say, predominantly rain. But you can see as we go through the overnight, that freezing line lifts to the north. Hopefully we'll be in the mid, if not upper 30s by the time we go into Sunday morning around 7, 8, 9 o'clock. Then by the afternoon, we could get a break in the action, actually, as we go into a Sunday afternoon before we see another round of rain and try to work back in, and even some thunderstorms Sunday night going into Monday. Before we see that warm-up take place and see all the switch back over to rain, can't rule out some additional ice amounts as we go throughout the rest of the night. Let's say east of Bartlesville, most of Newata County, most of Craig County, along and northwest of the Turnpike, a tenth to 2/10 of an inch. Same goes for about Oswego, Columbus, Crestline, Trees, Pitcher, Cardin, Downstream Casino, Highwinds Casino, and Bordertown Casino, some of the casinos just outside of Seneca, and even going back through the Joplin Metro, through Lawrence County along 44. Let's say that area, another tenth to 2/10 of an inch of ice. North of that, another quarter to potentially half an inch of ice. But again, once we get past Sunday morning, we should be done with all this ice. So, 33 around Joplin tomorrow morning by 6 a.m., let's say 42 by noon, and then 47 degrees with maybe a break in the action before we get Sunday evening underway. 62 with some thunderstorms for Martin Luther King Day. Then you can see for yourself. Tuesday on into next weekend looking much quieter and much warmer. 47 Tuesday, 57 Wednesday, 62 for Thursday and Friday, and then a temporary cool down for Saturday. But again, folks, once we get past tonight and early tomorrow morning, we're going to start to improve things around here, and all for the better if you're not a fan of this freezing rain. Have a good night. Have a great Sunday.